Hello, everybody, and we're back. I said, everybody, we are back. We are back. I'm waiting on Miss J to join the live, but it was 7:30. I wanted to go ahead and join. I have my wine here, baby. I am ready to cackle and look at some more of what happened this week. I know we're supposed to go over everything that happened this week, which was pretty much all Jim McCabe. But y'all, today it was too many bombshells today. Too many bombshells today that I feel like we are going to have to address. I have one of them pulled up now. When Miss J gets on, we'll go over those. But hey, everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for joining tonight. It is our second Wind Down Wednesday. Last week I was driving to go get Mariah. This week I'm here, and there go my friend. She back here excited. Hey, friend.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Hey, yo.
Oh, I need to get some lights. I can't wait to get my setup, baby. Y'all, I'm gonna have me a red light special one day. I just can't wait.
I know, but it's making it works during the day, but now it feels like it's like super dark or something.
No, I love it. I love it.
Everything. So, but oh my God, I just got some good news. You know how you just like always have somebody on your heart or your mind, and it was just like one of my cousins that I think I told you about her when she came here. She hustled up, and in 3 weeks, baby had some things going. I just kind of realized that now, like that's been a year.
It's been a year.
Like next month, it's been a year. So I just saw her, and she stopped by, and
I love it. Shout out to cousin. Hey, Chelsea. I got my.
They checking you. She ain't do no roll call while I was taking a couple minutes. She ain't do no roll call.
I didn't do the roll call. No roll call this morning, y'all. That's the early morning thing. Y'all done already talked to me for 8 hours today. Go pour up ass, y'all. Get your wine, y'all. It is Wine Down Fridays. Listen, you are supposed to be here to have your wine and get ready just to. We got to recap the week, okay? That's the whole purpose of today. We have to recap the week. Okay, and it's been a crazy week, but I want to start with today when we get started because I do have today queued up. I want to start with today. And for people who aren't watching the trial, this will be a great way for you guys to kind of catch up on what's going on, what has happened. We just gonna talk about it. What you feel like today?
Today, I think Jen needed a drink.
She needs to be in. Wait a minute, Jen. Are you in the comments for Wind Down Friday? Because we know you need the drink.
I said that earlier. I said, Jen, you need a drink. Come on down to Wind Down Fridays. Come on down and come have a sip with us while we talk about you. Because
no, she might need to come on. Hey, Isis, she might need to come on. I don't drink, Miss Alcoholic in Training. What? She needs to come on. She needs to come on. Come on over here. How did you feel? Kay Schmidt said, oh my God. Matt McCabe taking a plea deal before Karen's arrested.
Listen, did that not listen? Oh, Chatty Matty, did that not throw you talking about if she don't go down quietly? He said if she doesn't take a deal, but it was just like he was basically saying if she don't go down quietly, it's gonna get real loud. Did it not? He said what did he say? He said it was going to be an episode. Is it not?
Episode 2. What somebody said episode. Hell, we on season 2.
Look, listen. I have never, ever, never. They always say, if you ever want to know what's really going on, don't just check the phone, check the group chat. It's always the group chat.
Check the group chat.
Not the timeline crumbled. The timeline crumbled.
Speaking of timeline, y'all know I love an interactive chat, and I love to see, hey, are y'all paying attention? Can you guys tell me what time stated in court do you think messed up the timeline the most? It can be any time. Like, just throw out a time. T, you go first. What time do you feel like some time thrown out there you feel like messed everything up?
227. 227 tore everything up. Now, I want to say 227 tore everything up, but the one that I think is going to be the one that is most damning is 507. But I think what really tore it up, what messed it up, was adding that 623, 624. I think the 623, 624 messed it up.
I'm going to agree with the chat. Ooh, it's so many answers because no one is wrong here. But
timeline went over here. Okay.
1236. 1236 messed it up. Okay. 1245. Well, 1236 messed the 1245 up.
Messed it up.
It is now. Somebody just said 455.
All of them. Monique.
Yeah, 455 is one of the ones that Buchanan is. I think it's because I remember I said it's like mechanic. Buchanan has a report where Julie Albert says Jen called her at 4:55 and told her that he was gone. They didn't get to their house till about 6. 4:55 is pretty odd.
It's really odd when you add in the fact that both Proctor's report and notes say that you told Karen to come to your house first. Come to me so that you can spearhead this. When you start to look at certain things like that, it's like if you're going to believe one, you're going to believe them all, but you can't ignore. You might be able to ignore one thing. You can't ignore everything. And at the very least, it's doubt. Right. So it's coming up on not guilty. At the very least, any one of those times is doubt. 507 is doubt.
I have to go back and watch, and I probably do this on TikTok Live or something. Y'all know I gotta go back. I gotta go back because some people were saying she said something about the 507 timeline last trial. I feel like it's something I remember, but I could be wrong because y'all know I didn't remember the chest compressions. So I have to go back, and I only want to go back and see simply to see if it was one of those butt dials, right? Because this trial, she wouldn't commit to, I did not talk to my sister. It was, I don't recall talking to my sister.
You gonna say butt dial?
I think she said butt dial last trial. This trial, it's like, I don't know if I talked to her.
She called it a butt dial. She said she inadvertently called, like a butt dial. But I don't know what kind of premium Uncle Luke hip twitching twerking you got to be doing to precisely and accurately hit that motherfucking button with precision with the side of your ass.
Jaleesa says she feels like she missed some fireworks. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm willing to watch it again with you.
If let me tell you something. This just sounds like y'all granddaddy make ribs. You know how somebody talk about how they gotta make their ribs and they sauce gotta sit for days, and then they boil their ribs, then they marinate them, then they, Jen was your granddaddy's rack of ribs. That's what it was. It was a whole slab.
She had to sit a couple days.
Sat there and they let her season, they let her marinate. And when Alan Jackson put her on that grill, it was meant for her to fall off the bone. It was meant for her to fall off the bone.
Fall off the bone. I mean, I told you I had it queued up. We can watch some of it because when I say
I wasn't ready.
It's like my favorite movie right now.
I wasn't ready. And let me tell you, I don't think the world was ready, okay, friend? Because I'm gonna tell you something. This morning, when I woke up, and shout out to y'all, because this morning, y'all know 8 days ago, 9 days ago. I said, oh, we made it to 60,000 on TikTok and we celebrated. When I went this morning, we were at 65.1 thousand.
Period.
Started, we were at 65.4 thousand.
What did he say?
66.7.
66.7.
Everybody today has been, oh my God, did you see what happened? It's the conversation. It's not me. I swear it's not me. Shout out to Mel because Mel made me do this. But this right now is the conversation. And I'm so happy on an off note. I'm so happy it's happening. I think that people watching other trials with me showed that, okay, it ain't just hip hop. It ain't just celebrities.
Yes,
you know, that happening before. She watched this shit. No matter who it is.
It's versatility over here. Okay.
So Lori Daybell took us one place. But Karen and I'm
just, when I tell you, I'm so happy
people are united.
She was watching this trial because when I was watching, I was doing a rewatch. She was like, oh, I'm not going to do it. Mel watching. I said, okay. When this came, I needed her to watch it because I need to be able to talk to my friend.
I told Mel I was going to watch her watch.
Friend. Like, and I told her, I said, no, you're not. You're going to watch the trial. Okay.
I knew it was crazy, but they know I have to mute myself because my pressure was up today. I have never cursed so much at
No, Bev was making me actually get up out of my seat.
They told me you was cussing today.
Bev was making me get up out of my seat because I mean, just the shit she was saying was bothering me so
today.
Bad. She was bad today. She was bad today.
They said Mel over there cussing me.
Listen, Bev had me so pissed off because it's almost as if she was trying to handicap the defense. Like when they would try to get into certain stuff, she didn't want them to get into it. And I'm like, that's not what. Then they go back to the bench and she'd have to let them say it. Like how she let Jen go on and on this week. Oh,
all week.
I'm a soccer mom and I just don't know about any of this. This is not my normal life. I don't go through this. I mean,
so I'm gonna bring up two things.
Go, friend. Go.
One, before I bring up the main one, but
did I say the F word today? Lord, they had me pissed if I just said the F word on
Lord, see, Bev, I've been trying to look at it with a grain of salt because so many attorneys have been telling us judges act like this. She's no different. Even if I felt like she was biased, I don't feel like she's biased enough. You know, like, so we knew for a fact that, okay, maybe it's just me being a lay person. I don't deal with judges. Oh, no, they didn't.
I said
dropping bombs. Oh, did y'all record? I'm gonna have to go back. Y'all know I'm about to go back and go find it, right? Y'all know I'm gonna go back. But so this is, and then I realized that even if for a second you felt a little bit bad for Jen, right? Mm-hmm. Like, what if she was in the group chat but really wouldn't? They left her out there to go find him or something. Like, even if you felt something for Jen, let me tell y'all something that got me real bad. I felt like I was trying to work with Bev. I felt like she was doing what she was doing. But you know what? Bev said something. I mean, Jen said something when she first took the stand. Oh, well, I don't deny mine. I'm a cuss like a sailor. I'm going to get it out. I told y'all that's why I don't do stuff like this, because I get in trouble. I work for 2 judges. See? But I said, now hold up now. Y'all do remember Miss J was for over a decade Coach T.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't coach them kids without taking my CPR class. Jen said she's a basketball coach. So when you got on that effing phone with 911 and you sat on that stand today and said you didn't know CPR, you don't know CPR, nobody knew CPR, you were lying. You have to know CPR. You have to take the class.
She said she took it 20 or 30 years ago. 20 or 30 years ago. It was the lack of emotion. Like, they asking her, did you take CPR? No.
I gave it to her, but then today I thought about it. I had to get down there and hit the doop, 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 doop. You got to sit up there and keep pressing that stupid thing. Then you gotta act the whole thing out too. It make you feel like you in a bad place. You call 911. You know, you got to act the whole thing out while you're doing it.
Wait. So you mean to tell me Jen went through a simulation before?
Yes, you have to do it physically.
So she had been in this high pressure, high tense scenario before.
Think about it, friend. Didn't she say when she was doing compressions, it didn't feel right? Didn't they say it didn't feel right, or I wasn't pressing right, or something? It just didn't feel right. I was hoping she'd slipped up.
Low frequency CPR is what she was doing.
She was doing just enough to kill him if he wasn't already gone, because she knew exactly what was going to save him. She absolutely said, right. She said it felt funny. It felt funny and didn't feel normal because you knew he was gone. That's why I felt like he was trying to reach in there.
She said that too, T. She said she felt like he was gone.
She said that Wednesday. She didn't say that
low
day.
Quality, that's it, not frequency. Low quality CPR is what they were doing. Hey, Yates, that's what they were doing. Low quality CPR.
Yates, I got to today. Cheers. Matter of fact, that's what my little team would say. Cheers.
Oh, that's so cute. Low CPR is what was going on. They waited to make sure.
I had to go through a sports medicine training and a CPR class. And I had to keep them renewed or I could not coach. And I was not a teacher.
Gary, you must have been in the cut. Gary popped out on us and gifted 20 Millionaire Mail membership.
Yeah, okay, you got to tell me how to turn that on, because somebody tried to tell me to turn it on and I couldn't figure it out. I thought I had to get the 10K.
For the memberships?
To gift them. They said they couldn't gift.
I'm going to have Pretty send it to me and then I'll text it to you, because I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, Gary. I don't know what. One thing about it, the millionaire IT person in the chat, Pretty, got too pretty. Got it for us. I'm going to, and when she texts it to me, I'll send it over to you.
Wait, I just like one of your videos.
Who?
Too Pretty. I think she was your brother. Somebody be cooking them crawfish. What would you just eating some seafood, wasn't you? I just seen it. She was tearing it up. I remember that name. I was looking at it. I said, "Ooh, that look. I'm about to go get me. I got my old ass got an eye appointment."
She said that was her daddy.
Her daddy. Okay. I know I just seen it because I guess what we going for lunch tomorrow. Listen.
I haven't seen it all. I haven't seen it all. They said, Miss J, this ain't Mel's chat. This our chat. I can't even argue with her.
It's our chat, but I'm just saying.
I don't know how to do anything in the chat. I've been feeling so crazy. Baby, you ought to see how long
mods half the time.
You ought to see how long it take me to send a super chat if I'm on somebody else live, because I have to figure it out every time.
Listen, when I sent that one to you, I could not figure it out to help my life.
Shout out to the mind. Shout out to the
supervisor. She just here. She just come to work.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's it. Thank you. Infinite Bubble says, thanks, Gary. Thanks, Gary.
For the membership. Yes.
I can't even do the squares on TikTok. Yates, I'm not going to lie about it.
Listen, my best friend did that this weekend. I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt because it was her birthday. But she was driving me crazy.
20 memberships is crazy, but Gary, thank you, friend. Thank you.
That's crazy. That's love.
But wait a minute. I know we got a whole lot, y'all. Give me just a second, T. I'm going to share the screen with the first one. I'm right at the part where I think we can start.
Somebody in my chat said that blue is supposed to symbolize honesty, and that's why they coach you to wear it. I said,
I don't even see blue. I see red. She wore blue. Does she have on blue? Because all I see is red. I might be tripping. Because all I see is red. All All I see is red. I don't even see blue. I don't see blue, but okay. Okay. Now, T, I was thinking this whole last part of her testimony, we can go in, tell me when to stop, because I think there was so much that we could tackle. Starting with being talking about mail, please. Chad said that's purple mail. Ash said she see black. Okay, you see black, Ash? Damn,
No, we never do that with the blue dress, gold dress.
I see red.
Male admission. The reason why I started watching court cases, YSL for life. Listen.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody always Keisha said, "Are y'all okay?"
Yeah, we are joking. We clearly see she has on a blue shirt. She's the devil, so I see red. Listen,
I think I called her a demon today in one of my videos. I said, "Oh Lord!" Sometimes my mouth just be running.
Listen, the truth will always set you free. The truth will always set you free.
I'm sure we're going to see it. Y'all are going to see. There's a part in here after they ask her something today, and she sits up, does this with her hair.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Now, woman, it's getting hot.
She does that a lot. She did that a lot with this little shirt. I said that poor shirt. She was hiding that cross that I know she wore to show, but she was hiding it a lot.
Man.
Okay. Hold up. Y'all ready?
You called 911 in the time Officer Seraph got there. Is that right?
If that's what the dash cam says, yes.
On that 911 call, you referred to John O'Keefe as a man passed out in the snow.
Yes.
You didn't say, "This is my friend."
I needed to get, like you said, emergency there. So I wasn't going to give I wasn't going to give a description and say my friend is in the snow. I was going to give them the information that I thought was the most important at the time.
All right, let's stop there. T, break that down for me. What information did she provide that was the most important at the time?
The information that she wanted out there, she wanted it as vague as possible to get as less of a response as she possibly could. A man passed out in the snow, a guy unresponsive in the snow, just in the snow. Like, a man in the snow is never going to make any kind of sense to me. A man in the snow is never going to be like, and like he said, we're not even there. You didn't even say my friend. He's only your dear friend when you need to conjure up some tears.
Only time I've heard her say my dear friend.
But at this point, I'm trying to figure out who was John's friend, because I ain't seen one yet.
I have. You have. You've seen one. Remember Cameruno?
Mike.
Way back. Remember, he was early. I couldn't hold himself. Mike Cameruno.
Mike, yeah. So he was holding. I feel like he was his friend. One. But that
one man.
Mike Camerano was the only one. But honestly, to be honest, if Mike Camerano was probably at this point to me the most truthful testimony they've had this entire time.
Only. Don't say most.
The most truthful. And I think that in being a true friend, I'll say that, in being a true friend, he was as truthful as possible. Mm-hmm. He's not there with an agenda. He's there for his friend. And when it looked like he was like nervous or you couldn't figure it out, you started to realize he was trying to keep himself from having a physical reaction to the mental wherewithal he had going on. Like he was just all over the place. He missed his friend. He missed his damn friend.
And you can tell he really loved John like that. And I'm one of the only people who seem to also care for Karen. I don't know what side of the fence he's on with the she did it, she didn't do it, but
that's not
to go out of his way to make her look bad. He just did not seem to do that.
That was not his concern. His concern was for his friend. And I really got that. Honestly, that got confirmed for me. That got confirmed through Karen's text messages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
That got confirmed because when Karen said, "I don't think Mike really likes me," he said, "Man, he's over that." That right there lets you know
He said, I can't give, but y'all are some dope people. Keep grinding. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Gary.
thank you.
Thank you
It's
so
like,
much,
you know
Gary.
what, guys? How can I say it? You have, when your friend is your friend, they will let you do you, but they will protect you. So even if you still want to be with this person and he felt some type of way about something that Karen did, he was able to let Karen know, all right, now I see you. And then he was able to reel it back. So even with Karen, Karen was letting us know that he was truly John's friend. But in being John's friend, he had no dog in the fight. He knew he don't care where the justice comes from. He just wants justice for his friend. And that's it.
That's it. K. Schmidt said, Mama Peggy probably just want to know what happened. Nuh-uh, K. Schmidt. I can't let you do that. K. Schmidt.
What?
I have a hard time believing Peggy wants justice for her son. Because there is no way she would align herself with Carrie Roberts and Jennifer McCabe after sitting through that whole trial, K. Schmidt. I think Peggy is blinded by her dislike for Karen.
There you go.
I think she's blinded by her dislike for Karen, and that is ruling her. Now, I'm going to say this, K. Schmidt. Now, if you mean deep down, way up under that hatred she has for Karen, she wants justice for her son. Okay. You don't think deep down?
I talked about this the other day. I think we were live, and I said there's a difference. And the crazy thing is, like, you got to think about it, though. Somebody said to me that Mama O'Keefe was going through a separation during this. When you have someone, I don't want to be this person, but I'm going to be this person. When you have somebody that has unhealed trauma and they're dealing with that situation, they're going to identify with the part of it that they think makes them feel right. So what you're doing is you're dealing with a woman who's going through a separation, but while she's going through a separation, she's going through this separation and she's coming out on she's bitter. Mm-hmm. So she never looked at Karen like she was going to possibly gain a daughter. She always looked at the situation like she was losing a son. Ooh. And she damn sure don't want Paul's ass. Okay? She don't want Paul. She
does not want Paul.
Without her having Papa O'Keefe, the next best thing, the next stand-up man, the next thing closest to a husband was John.
She doesn't
want Karen ready to step in and take her. No, Karen didn't represent anything that Mama O'Keefe was mad at. Karen was the other woman. Mama O'Keefe was trying to be John's woman. And Karen was the side chick that kept taking him away. John was the prize. John stepped in. John made the Mr. Mom. John came through and took them kids. John came through and had all them women going crazy. John handled business. John probably picked up where Papa O'Keefe was like, fuck you. She want John. When she realized that Papa O'Keefe wasn't the bee's knees, it was John who was the better man. Let's be clear. She never looked at Karen as if she could possibly get a daughter. She looked at Karen as if she was losing a son. That woman don't care just as she want Karen gone. Don't say, Mom, I got two.
We're trying to go left right now because hold on. What y'all mean, boy, mom behavior?
I got boys. Don't do that.
And that's the problem with these mamas.
Now, I will say some of them, because you got to think about it. They done told their little boys they've been the man of the house since they 7, 8 years old. So when you step in the picture about 18, 19, they have about 10 years on it. I'm just saying, Mama Peggy O'Keefe is so blinded by her bitterness, she don't care what come through long as something happened to Karen. She don't even realize that John gone, that she don't even have no beef with Karen no more.
Oh, yeah.
Even if something happened to Karen, you still ain't gonna have John. We don't say definitely some of them.
They said, Keisha, thank you. She said it's a behavior. Not all boy moms act that way. I have too. Okay. But I get what you guys are saying. I do get what you guys are saying. And I think Ms. Jefferson is making a really great point that
she's bitter. Because look at her. She's so lonely. She'd rather be surrounded by snakes than to stand on her own. She wants attention. She needs somebody there. She don't have somebody to be there for her. Not John, not Papa O'Keefe. She just got Paul.
And hell, it doesn't seem like anybody wants Paul. God,
No, nobody wants Paul ass.
Paul must just be a universal F up because she said it. Paul,
why are you kicking with the woman in the courtroom?
That lady said Paul over there. Oh my God! I said, oh my God! Hold on, Paul.
Just left with Paul.
And I feel like she said, and I feel like as a boy mom, if you don't have no man in your life or they have no father figure, it starts to turn into a weird relationship. I don't know where it turns weird when it comes to boy moms. I mean, as a boy mom, I just feel like we do always want the best for our boys. And sometimes, I mean, I am not at the point where my son dates. Okay. So I'm not there and I'm not there yet, but I would hope I just could tell my son just as I would my daughter, like, oh, watch out for that person. If they ask you, but I don't want to insert myself in my son's life. I don't want to do that. But if you ask me, please know I will tell you.
Well, that's the difference, Mel, because you ain't said nothing we talking about.
Oh,
well, I'm talking about Peggy. Like, we ain't talking about what you talking about. You want the best for your son. Peggy don't have a son. That's Peggy, man.
Peggy's gonna have to work on that. And I really do want her to think about what she's doing.
The thing is, how's she gonna do that? Now she's got triple the grief because she breaks down at the thought of her daughter. You do grieve relationships. So even though Papa O'Keefe is still physically there, he's not there with her.
Mm-hmm.
He loses John, and do they still have that house? I would never go in that house. That was your daughter's house. Then your son moved in it. Then he died. Now you move in it. I mean, you old as hell. How much trauma you gonna put them kids through? Because once you die, they gonna feel like it's the house. Like, just get them kids out of there. Get yourself out of there. Like, they need to start over. Enmeshment is real. Yes, crime. It is real. People do not understand that word until they end up in that word. And then when they end up in it, they don't understand that they in it. And when they read the definition, they figure out their whole life. I just think that Mama O'Keefe did not get a chance to heal. And I think that Mama O'Keefe found healing in John's actions. John took over. John took that that burden off of her. She didn't have to bear that cross and go in there with those kids and try to raise them without her daughter. John did that for her. John can do no wrong.
And you might be right. Just look at how did everyone love Karen except Peggy? Everybody talked about how much she was liked and how she was great for John. They seemed like they loved each other. Everybody loved it except Peggy. So there may be
think about it. Who was Peggy talking to? Who was in Peggy's ear? Who was the first one to call Peggy? First one to brave a storm.
So do you think? Well, you think it was Carrie that turned Peggy against her? You think it was Carrie?
I think Mama O'Keefe thought she had an ear to the street. She had some eyes close to keep an eye on the kids and on John. And she had somebody to report back. Think about it. If your son is in a situation, whether he's doing what he's doing or he got a new girlfriend, or how are the kids doing? My son, my grandson comes over your house. How's he really doing? How's he healing? Is he okay? Is he back to normal? Is he playing for his mom? All of these things, you got somebody to give you support every day. But it's actually somebody that's been holding on since junior prom.
I'm sorry. Why would you say? She said, "Is somebody been holding on since junior prom?"
Can you trust this? I'm like, why do you remember junior prom? Like, I'm serious. Like, can you trust that report? It's just as crazy as it sounds. It's crazy.
I know Carrie husband hate to see her wake up every morning next to him because not you obsessed with this man. Junior prom?
Let me tell you something.
That's for someone from junior prom.
Let me tell you something. If a blizzard hit Arizona and Big Unc wake up to go find some woman he went to junior prom with in a blizzard, I guarantee by the time that snow is halfway off the ground, he'd be by himself. Where are you going? For who and for what reason? Who? A blizzard?
Wait, you know.
Let's be real.
Morbid. What if Carrie beating up the bullies and telling John, get your ass up and hold my hand?
You got a girlfriend, Nesbit? Listen, what you do now?
Poor Carrie. Carrie's gonna have to get.
When they talk about Carrie is more take charge. I said they didn't turn Carrie into Chloe.
They gonna have to get into. I mean, not they, Lord. I'm reading the chat. Carrie is gonna have to get her life together, baby. You got to get your life together, Carrie. You got to move on, baby. You have a husband. Focus on your husband.
Starting with that dinner cloth. Your husband do not like that lace you creased up by the sleeve. He don't like it. He don't like it. It itch. He don't like it. You take that dinner cloth off.
Baby, this is too much for me. Carrie really does need to sit down and do some soul searching. Okay, she has to. She can't.
Soulmate is gone. She knew since junior prom. Her soulmate is gone.
Poor her husband, Lord Jesus.
Can you imagine how her husband looked at her, that woman at home falling apart, drinking wine? Over her junior prom date, she done found in the snow.
I know what it's like to lose somebody. So, I'm not speaking from, it's funny what I'm picturing in my head. Because I know what I look like when I'm in one of my moments, baby. I might have my wine. You might hear some, no, it's not a prom date. But you might have some guys coming out and toe up. Can you just imagine her husband?
Watching her fall apart.
And she falling apart at the dinner table with a glass of wine over John. Holding wait a minute. He said, holding that picture. Carrie, this is the vibes you're giving off, Carrie.
But wait a minute. The other thing is, y'all know Carrie's husband been hearing about that Reebok date that she thought she was the onlyest one. You'll know that she been hearing about that bitch at the Reebok date since kindergarten. The kids was in the 8th grade at this point. So now your husband not only watching you fall apart over your junior prom date, but you also now texting and confiding in the woman you've been calling the bitch for the last 8 years.
That's got to be some twisted shit there. The woman who what you say, she pulled up to Reebok like, now who the fuck is this?
Thought it was a lunch date, baby.
You had to go to lunch with the lady too. Okay, yeah, we done really got off track. Okay.
Did you say his name?
I just said a man because that was the most important identifying.
You didn't say John?
Eventually in the 911, I do say his name.
You didn't initially say O'Keefe, correct?
No, none of that matters. It was a man in the snow, and I wanted help there.
And you didn't say he's a Boston police officer or an off-duty police officer?
Again, a man needed help.
Yes or no? Did you say that?
I didn't.
Do you think that might, yes or no? Do you think that might have sped things up if the 911 operator knew that this was a fallen officer, a fellow officer?
I think 911 comes to everyone equally. I don't think they would have.
Do you think that might have been something important to relay to the 911 officials?
I don't know.
You were even asked by the 911 operator, does anybody know CPR? And your answer was no, correct?
I'd have to listen to it to remember my exact answers.
But it was basically in the negative. No, we're not professionals. We're just out here doing the best we can, correct?
I wouldn't say that, no.
You didn't believe Karen Reed knew CPR?
I didn't know. I don't think I answered that question. I don't think it was asked.
You didn't know if Carrie Roberts knew CPR, correct?
I didn't know if they knew CPR, correct.
And none of you were paramedics?
No.
None of you are first responders?
No.
None of you are trained in emergency life-saving techniques in any way, correct?
Correct.
I have a question, Miss McCabe. Mm-hmm. On all of Fairview, the entire road between Chapman and Cedar Crest.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite parts right here.
On all of Fairview Road.
He set this up beautifully.
From corner to corner.
That man said all of Fairview, that long ass street. Just, I want you to think about it from house number 1 to house number 40. Whole Fairview. Whole Fairview. Okay, let's go.
Can you think of any person on that road who might have had life-saving techniques trained into them? First responder, someone who knew how to deal with someone in distress, someone with high skill level training. Do you think of anyone on Fairview who had that kind of training?
Can I now or did I then? Which are you asking?
Did you then?
And let me tell you this. I don't know what she thought she was doing with the whole, can I now or did I then? You want me to believe you're in front of your brother's home, your brother-in-law's home, who is a first responder, and he never came up in your mind. I was actually offended that she did
everything. I'm even more offended now because now I'm starting in hindsight to remember things like you said you were a coach. I know for a fact you have to have CPR training.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, she said she was a teacher before she was a coach. Teachers have to have CPR training. Like,
okay, come on.
No, then my focus was on John O'Keefe.
Okay, stopping it again. Sorry, y'all. Because how's your focus on him? And she kept saying, I wanted to get him the help the fastest way possible. The fastest way was, while the police are on the way, run in that house and get your brother. Your focus was John O'Keefe.
Let me tell you something. I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all can say what y'all want about Miss J. I'm a punk, okay? When it comes to certain stuff. And if I start moving some snow, first of all, I ain't getting down in the snow like that. But if for some reason I'm down in the snow and I'm moving something and something look like it's staring at me, I don't care whose brother is in that house.
Go
on the go. Help me. No. Come help me. Help. He needs
help me. Like,
listen,
come on.
I don't care whose brother in the house. Damn, your brother, my brother, they brother. We all God's children. You going to come out here and help me. I'm waking everybody up. Help. All these lights flashing and stuff going on. Don't nobody wake up? Cool. Somebody waking up. Somebody, you can't tell me that you thought, even if it was just a man, you passed in the snow. You're not going to sit there and not have some sort of physical reaction. I'm sorry. First of all, it might be 2 motherfuckers in the snow because I might pass the fuck out next to him if he's looking at me. Come help both of us.
And listen, people remember that she kept saying, I didn't want to take the focus off. Well, you were taking the focus off when you were running back and forth to that truck to go get baby towels.
I said he gonna set it up.
You were taking the baby blankets. You were taking the focus off. Then it would not have hurt for Karen to keep doing mouth to mouth, Carrie to be doing CPR, and for you to go in that house and say, Brian, get your ass out here.
That's what they don't want to admit. That's some real shock because it's blood coming out your mouth and mouth to mouth. First of all, that's love. Okay, that's the type of love that I don't know. I want to know nothing about. And then because that right there, if I looked up and it was on me too, oh, I'm passing out again. I'm hurt. I'm down. I don't know what's happening. I'm not getting ready to ain't no way you a man in the snow. Oh my God, you would still, even if it was a stranger that you just happened to come across trying to get to your car, you still would have called 911 with more urgency than that. Listen, Brianna, we going. Brianna
know how we do over here. She already, we getting through the clip. Okay? The clip is the cover. The clips are coming.
Right. And why was that never an option? Why was there nobody ever carrying him to the house to warm him up? Why was that never an option?
That's a good.
Why
Okay,
was
let
that
me narrow
never
the focus.
listed in
How
the
about
house?
on the property? How about at 34 Fairview? Could you think of anyone that was a first responder who would have life-saving training, life-saving technique training
It's
under his
getting
belt?
darker. I told
Yes,
you.
my brother-in-law, Brian Albert.
You heard
And you
somebody
didn't
go
go in the house, did you?
No, I did not.
Say this about.
Somebody in that camera said,
Say this about. Baby, she's sticking to the game plan. Because even though she's saying some ignorant shit right there, she's looking at that jury. They said anybody you can think of that was a first responder. She said, my brother Brian Albert, my brother-in-law Brian Albert. Did you do it? No, I did not. She's sticking to the look at the jury thing.
Look at it. But I told y'all that everybody kept saying, I can't believe she put her contour like that. She's not. She's putting the bronzer where she turned red, and she don't realize it's turning purple every time she turned red. Look at her face right now. Look at her. I ain't never seen nobody swipe bronzer across the top of their forehead like they hiding lace.
And I'm gonna go back to Key and say that not only was the house warm, Key, but those three women, your first thought went to be, let's go get a man who could help Carrie, because him plus Nicole plus Brian Albert Jr. was in the house too. Two men, that would have been 6 of you guys carrying him inside the house.
Why? That's the perfect thing. Let's get him in the house.
Why didn't we take him in the house? Okay.
When you arrived at the scene, you didn't go in? Not until much later, correct?
Our focus was John.
You knew that Brian Albert was inside the house. You'd just been with him hours earlier, correct?
Yes.
You knew that his window was 30 feet away. You're staring at it. You could look at it if you wanted to, correct?
It's off to an angle.
Oh,
And you didn't go in the house then either.
I did not know.
You knew that John O'Keefe was clinging to life during those precious minutes and seconds. Is that right?
I did, yes.
And you also knew that Brian Albert, your brother-in-law, was a first responder trained to deal with people in that kind of distress, correct?
In that moment, my only thoughts were John and everything we could do for John.
y'all, that's so
Everything?
disingenuous. That's so disingenuous. Like, you can't say that when there is literally your brother-in-law in the house that was trained. If you guys were doing it wrong, he could have done it right, and you never thought to get him.
Door unlocked the whole time, Keisha. Who was the brains behind this story? All of them. That's the thing. They sat all together, put together timeline. They all did. Let me tell. Oh, we can go to it. I know you probably will go to it. But when I say, I know her sister probably ran out that room before she got served.
Oh, Dee. I know Dee probably.
You know what? Point out. Was she over there in between them two? Okay. What's the last name? Mm-hmm.
When he asked the last name, she said, "Oh damn!" It was all on Jen's face.
Served.
Like, it was all on her face. I don't know what they're covering for, but it's something.
And you knew that there were warm blankets inside the house. Is that right?
I did, yes. There were warm blankets in the house.
And you still never went in, did you?
No, I went and attended to John because once I finished calling 911, I went over to John and Carrie Roberts asked me to take over compressions. So I felt like that was more important. And 911 was on the way. I never thought about going in the house. I just thought, how can I help John?
You never thought about going in the house, but you did pull out your cell phone and make 2 phone calls, didn't you?
After I called 911, I tried calling my sister, yes.
While John was out in the cold, clinging to life, you weren't doing chest compressions at 6:07 and 6:08, were you?
I was walking over when I was calling.
You were calling your sister on the phone, weren't you?
I was calling them to see if they would come out, but I was going right over to work on him.
And you could have walked 25 feet to the front door, walked in the house, and screamed for Brian Albert to come out and help you in those precious seconds and minutes, couldn't you?
That would have taken me away from helping John, getting Carrie blankets, giving him compressions.
Now listen to what she said. That would have, what you say, T?
I said, but the phone call didn't.
And the baby blankets, she said that would have taken away from me getting baby blankets.
But the way he set her up from the beginning, when he said you called 911 at 6:00, he said, hold on, who was the first person to get there? Officer Sharif? Okay. But you called 911 at 6:03, correct? She said yes. Now we know Officer Sharif. Now we know Officer Sharif did not get there till 6:10.
16.
So at 6:07 and 6:08, you're calling your sister. There's no cop there. So no, you're not doing anything.
Listen, Key, because those blankets, baby blankets, think about they're for kids. They're for babies. You could have gone in the house again and get one of them comforter sets. I know somebody got a king size bed in the house. That would have been better yet. She said, get them in the house.
Hell, at this point, you could have grabbed Cujo's blanket. It was warmer than what the hell you was doing.
Jen said Microdots has a great video of Jen on the phone with her sister. Karen's phone picked it up. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to find it and post it on my Instagram, on my Insta story, guys. I'm gonna have to find it and post it.
And those two very important phone calls, 6:07 and 6:08, that you say were not answered. Correct?
They were not important phone calls. I tried to call my sister, and then I focused on John.
They were not important phone calls, but they were important enough for you to make while John is clinging to life right there in front of you, right?
As I was walking over, I called to see if she would answer.
And she didn't answer. Let's talk about that. She didn't answer according to you.
So if we're going to talk about it, we're beyond the luncheon break.
Your Honor, I have two more questions,
Okay.
and I'll wrap it.
Okay.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Sure.
She didn't answer the phone, did she?
No, she didn't.
So you have a situation where a man is laying dead or dying in the front yard of your sister's house. You see nothing in terms of life inside the house. Lights aren't coming on. They're not getting up. They're certainly not coming outside, right?
They were sound asleep
They weren't coming outside, were they?
because they were asleep.
You didn't know if they were asleep.
Right.
All you knew was there was a severely injured man on the front lawn of their house, and your sister didn't answer the phone, not once, but twice, correct?
Correct. She didn't answer the phone.
Did you think your sister might have been in peril? Did you think to go inside the house and check that they're okay?
I had no reason to think that they weren't okay.
You had no reason to believe they weren't okay. A man was dead or dying on their lawn, and your sister's not answering the phone, and nobody is coming out to the chaos of Karen Reed screaming on the front lawn. You didn't think there was some reason to believe they could have been in peril?
I didn't, because your client was screaming she hit him. She had a cracked taillight. She was crying she hit him. I didn't, but my focus, can I finish, please?
You solved the crime right then and there. You solved the whole case.
No, I didn't. I knew John never came in the house, so I had no concern for anyone's safety inside the house.
The reason you didn't go inside the house is because you knew better. You knew better. You knew she wasn't in peril. You knew that Brian Albert wasn't in peril. You weren't worried at all about them, were you?
I was not worried at all because something happened on the front lawn that had nothing to do with anything inside that house.
You weren't worried about them at all because you knew what
This
really
stuff right here, y'all.
happened, didn't you, Inspector?
At that moment, I didn't know that he was hit by a vehicle and there was taillight found next to him.
That's all I have.
All right.
I'm just gonna pour the rest of this in my glass. Cause you know wasn't nothing wrong with people. You know what happened to that man. And then you gonna sit here and say, cause I knew he didn't go in that house. How you know that? Your drunk ass was talking about peanut butter when you left. You don't know who went in that house. What happened? Who went in that house?
Forget how you know. How are you so sure? You've been iffy about your testimony.
You know.
The last 3 days, you've been iffy about everything. I don't know. Maybe I remember. Maybe I don't. But now you're so sure.
There wasn't nothing wrong with
in that house. You so sure your sister was good? How you so sure? Because if I find a man on my sister's front yard, I gotta go see about mine. I have to go see about my sister because how do I walk up and just say, no, I know my sister good, unless you know your sister good.
Well, my thing is, even if in your mind you wanted to go ahead and say, I know my sister good, because that make you feel better about the situation. What you just did was call your sister twice, and your sister ain't answer the phone and say she was good. So you don't know that she was good. If I see a dead man on that lawn, I call my sister and she don't know what's going on. First of all, my sister's so nosy, she gonna throw on her robe and she coming outside to see about a dead man on her lawn, because how the hell he get here?
And what you doing on my yard?
You ain't gotta be on that lawn. Let me tell you something. If I turn the corner and it's light on my sister's street, I'm hitting them fences like hurdles. Mother, I got to get there. Where my sister? I got to lay eyes on my sister. I'm not getting ready to sit here and wait and y'all say, oh, it's at this house. How you know they at that? You check on my sister? No, you didn't. So move out my way so I can get to my sister. I'm not about to sit up here and play.
I said this, Ash, too. No disrespect to Mr. O'Keefe or his family, but if that were me, I would have to leave him there. I'm gonna leave Carrie. I'm gonna leave them two to him, and I'm gonna go see about my sister, and I'll be back. I'll call 911 on my way to go.
I called 911, but if I called 911 and did my due diligence, I'm trying to help this man, and in the process of taking his blankets back, my sister's not answering. Yeah, that last blanket is gonna be the last shit he get for me for a second, cause it's getting ready to be a B&E. Breaking it in like a motherfucker.
You don't have to do that because they sleep with the doors unlocked.
Well, see, my sisters would not be unlocked because well, the thing is, if I call my sister twice, there's a dead man on the lawn and the door is unlocked, I'm losing it at the door. Do you hear me? I'm calling Chloe so I can ride her big ass high hole silver to the motherfucker who got my sister. Because at this point, they hostage.
Not you gonna call Chloe.
I'm calling Cujo because at this point, a dead man on the lawn, you ain't answering the phone and your door unlocked? No.
Well,
no.
With all of it together that we've learned so far, we have the Hoslong to die in the cold at 227.
You don't spell shit right. Then she put ONG. I couldn't text with her. I had to cuss her out and block her.
You got
455.
Julie says that's when she learned John was dead at 455, right? Then we've got the 453 call 453, then 455, okay? Karen calls Jen. Then we got the 508. Then we got to come to my house and pick me up. Then, let's go back to One Meadows and let's look for John. Then we got, let's go to my sister's house. But before I get off the phone and you get here, I'm going to call my sister. And it's a 38-second phone call. Okay? 38-second phone call. Keep that in mind. Then we're going to get to the house. I'm going to call the police. But when I call the police, I'm not going to say my friend John. I'm not going to say that he's a police officer. In fact, it's a police officer upstairs that could perform life-saving measures. I'm not going to go get him either. I'm not going to go get him. And then I love the way the defense made sure to show all of the times she alone spoke to the police while they were there.
Every police. Every agency. Everybody. She spoke to everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody. And I love the way he said it, that they were creating. Listen, we just hit it. We were. Huh? I said, I love that he said you were the one creating and controlling the narrative with the law enforcement. You were controlling the narrative with law enforcement. And think about it. She just was. She talked to everybody.
Everybody. Why you need to talk to Proctor 14 times?
Why you lie about knowing who he was?
Man, I still can't get that one. Maybe they all worked for the state police. So what was that about?
You lying, say you don't know who this man was. Lying, say you ain't never seen him until September 2023, knowing he came to your house, wrote a report, and took notes. Like,
You spoke to him 14 times. Some of Jen's lies, I don't even understand why she did them. The whole we rolled by the house and just looked at the crime scene.
can we talk about the lie that we don't know is a lie yet, but I feel like it's a goddamn on lie?
Okay, what is that?
She said today that when, and I know it's in cross, you probably already got it queued up, but when she said, he said, you told people that you don't evade police. And in your driveway, you gave them the wrong name, ran in your house, and even when they came in after you avoided them for 10 dang on minutes, then they come in and you shut the interview down. Talking to police, you shut them down. And that's who said. But I went back and talked to him 4 to 5 times, and I think I talked to him good because they're no longer investigating. Bitch, who told you that? Who told you the feds ain't investigating?
I'm getting over to that. Who told you that? Who told you you did such? Let's see. This might be it. Hold up. This might be it right here.
Who told it? Girl, you lied. Use a lie. Use a lie.
So what do you think has to happen? How are you feeling and what has to happen?
Big neck Gucci. I told you about big neck Gucci. I like big neck Gucci. He said, use a lie, but I ain't gonna get upset right now. But I wish I had a lie detector test right now. Put them on him. You got the polygraph. Just for shits and giggles. I'd love to see it.
She won't pass. You know that.
And Mr. Brennan read to you a text to that person, correct?
Yes.
Before we get here, we didn't watch the redirect. How did you feel about Brennan reading all of those text messages between her and Carrie?
I was about to say, you can't. I wanted to give it to Brennan because I see what he was trying to do, where he was trying to make it seem like it wasn't so cold, so calculated. And he was trying to show that she had compassion, she had feeling and all of that. But you needed to show that with the fuckers you showed her being cold and calculated with. You had her with her husband, and with the Alberts, with Nicole and Brian Albert. So when he took that stand, or when he got up to that podium and he said, they didn't read all the text messages. They didn't complete these text messages. I'm thinking incomplete would be with Brian, Nicole, Maddie, chatty ass, and her. You can't say, oh, well, her and Carrie talked about this. She ain't never talked to Carrie. You think a heifer I ain't never talked to him and holding a Reebok grudge against for 8 years, I'm going to sit up here and just tell her everything? And especially if I need you to be on our side where it looks like they put a battery in her back and let her go like the Energizer Bunny. You think I ain't going to make that feel validated? You think I'm going to be goofy enough not to let this? So they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Where you think Carrie was on her list of people?
It wasn't the serve he thought it was. Because, and what I tell y'all on the stream, I said, now, if he showed me her acting like this, say March, April, or like T said, show me her having that type of emotion with someone other than Carrie. Where is that emotion with the family? Because they don't even seem sad in the family group chat. And he's like, oh, you see what she's showing with Nicole? There are more messages. I wasn't buying them. It's with Carrie.
Of course, I'm gonna have more messages with my sister than I do with the group chat. Of course, I can go out the group chat and expound upon some shit with my sister. It's my sister. If one of us go, put the phone in there with us. Lock it up, okay? Don't don't look, okay? Listen. We always say that. My siblings always say that if they ever find our group chat, we're gonna get kicked out the family. It's so you know good and well that was their core group. They may have other group chats, they may have bigger things with other family members, but even some family members are not going to be in that vicinity for that information. They're just not. They're not going to ever be able to be in close proximity of that information. And outside of that, Jen is never going to talk to Brian the way she'll talk to Coco.
Never.
Because Brian's married to Nicole, but Jen is Coco. She's never going to talk to that group chat. She's never going to say things in front of her husband that she would say to her sister. So what you have to do is you have to show me that where she looks cold, calculated, and sinister, that she ever told Matt McCabe in that group chat, I just feel sick to my stomach. I just keep thinking about it. Not what you have to show me that. If you can't show me that with them, and Coco saying, yeah, I just keep thinking about it. I had to get me some wine. Yeah. I
don't see it. I don't. And remember, she calls Brian Uncle Brian. She'll never, ever. He's like,
go sit outside the bus.
Yeah, he got to be 18 to 20 years older than this lady. They'll never have that type of relationship. And she looks to him anytime something goes wrong. She looks to him. Megan, I don't know what happened, friend. And I just think I'd be crazy to sit here and do that. I'd be crazy to sit here. The only thing I don't know. His family would not be doing the shit that they're doing if they are not involved in what happened with him. It just doesn't make sense.
Megan, I will say, though, I don't think it was this bad. I think what happened to him wasn't this serious. I think it was something as it was truly somewhat of an accident, or could have been deemed as an accident, but even in it being an accident, technically it was still a crime. Like an involuntary manslaughter, you know what I mean? Something like that, where it still could have been considered a crime. And the thought of one of them doing a day behind it was not an option. I think the cover-up has made it seem so bad that we have to believe. We have to believe that it was a cold, calculated setup that was. But the thing is, it's gotten so big at this point. They've lied and lied and lied and lied so much that it seems like it has to be this big. But I really think it's probably something really dumb.
I think
they talk about how many young guys were there for the son's birthday. It could have been a little shadow boxing, slap boxing. He slipped, fall, bump his head, and they just didn't want Junior to go to jail. It could be something so dumb and so explainable that they've made it absolutely impossible to understand. I think cover up is crazy.
I agree to a point. Because I went through this whole did he walk down those stairs? Because people have said this, and he hit his head on the weights, and I go back to this. If it were truly an accident, they would have called the police. The mere fact that they did not call the police lets me know that there's something that did happen. Someone caused the death, maybe not purposely, but someone caused the death. It wasn't like he fell down the stairs or he was drunk, accidentally slipped. No, someone that they are close to caused it. He had all of those fractures in his brain. Lead me to believe he was beat in the black. Well, I think you heard them talk about the eyes.
The eyes, yes.
And the eyes. The doctor said that the laceration on his eye makes him believe that it was either from the hematoma or someone hit him in the eye and gave him a black eye. He said, I can't really tell you which one.
Now, to be honest, does anybody, and y'all know I'm trying to be as much of a juror as I can on this second trial. Do they ever, you don't have to tell me what the answer is, but do they ever go back and explain the square up between Brian and Brian?
Y'all, should we tell her? We won't tell you.
I mean, do they explain it? Is that going to be explained?
I'm just gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you who said it, and it's probably gonna change this go around. But they called it ass grabbing.
Okay, well, now see.
They said they were ass grabbing.
Well, listen.
I don't want to show her, Erica. Erica, hold on. I don't want to show her because she's watching like a juror, but I can tell her they call it ass grabbing.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I said when they said that they were. So I took it as either Jen really can't fight her way out of a wet paper bag.
She didn't want to say it, T.
Or how she was doing it. Because when she was talking about what they were doing, okay, I'm just gonna say
they said it was grab ass, and I'm sorry. Thank you, Lizzie. Grab ass and not ass grabbing.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. Because y'all know, in my juror mind, I have always been of the mind that they were some upside down pineapple people, and that John was slanging he was getting the sympathy pea from everybody. Okay, everybody was giving it to him because he was a great man. He was Mr. Mom. Mm-hmm. But a lot of y'all have met or seen my brother. Okay, and one, it's my brother. He always say he should have been the sister and Tiffany should have been the brother. But so y'all know Dom, okay? And that's one of the ways, because I've always wondered how these guys that look like they just are who he dates, right? And he has always said that the top two, only two things that men that you would think are absolutely macho masculine say, that's why I keep calling it the den of sin, is because my brother said the two things they always say to him is, do you smoke? Or they try to play fight. And so when they said that Brian and Brian was play fighting, I said, oh, they was foreplay. I mean, they was, because Jen was doing this, and I was like, either the bitch has never been in a fight or he's shimmying. It just was real pineapple-y. You doing the bending. Come on, kid. So that's just because of what, my brother, I was thinking like, that's the number two, like that's what he always said. Oh, you smoke or some play fighting shit. And I was just like, is that what, that's why I keep calling it the den of sin. It was going down in that place. We don't know. They was diddying in the den of sin because I was like, do anybody ever explain that? Because I would love to look at it as, Thank you, Sally. I would love to look at it as maybe one of them were already hyped up, and then maybe John got that hyped up. It was already too far. You know what I mean? At the waterfall, get to the house, you're already aggressive. You already, because we all know somebody that's like that just get too much in them. They're aggressive, overly aggressive, keep being aggressive, and somebody have to take them home. You know what I mean?
Somebody.
Like somebody has to take, they usually have, I don't want to call it a handler, but like a handler. That person can't go out with you unless such and such is with them because they're going to keep them in line.
She said they took a gas station pill and was on go. He said something that is, and we have a juror here, so I can't wait till she hears about this, but we can't wait till you get to the text messages between Karen and one of the other people in the case. And I want you to remember this whole conversation about just what you think, the den of sin. I want you to remember the den of sin conversation. And when you get to those text messages between Karen and this person, I can't wait till you get to them. And I want to see if you feel how we feel, that they were both too comfortable to be texting each other the way they were, knowing she was in a relationship with someone. So your den of sin theory is going to further add a little fuel to that.
Oh, I think you about to say exactly who I've been thinking it is, because I thought it was Higgins. Higgins.
Yeah.
Because from the beginning, when they talked about the conversations between Higgins and she just stopped it. Nobody is going to get that hyphy off of something that was nothing.
Miss J, they said when you read the messages,
y'all better come check on
call you, and we gonna have to.
Let me tell y'all, I have come to the conclusion that however I react to this, it's Mel's fault. It is not my fault.
I'll take it because that's how I felt when I watched the first trial. When I watched it, at least you're getting breaks. You're getting a straight not even 8 hours. You're getting about 6 hours a day. We watched 30 days in 11. We watched 31 days in 11 days.
No.
At least you're getting a break because I'm going to bed like, what the hell?
I think it was a couple of days ago. I woke up and I said, y'all know what? Like, I didn't even say good morning to everybody. I just said, y'all know what? Why the hell you ain't breaking that house? Because you can't get it off your mind. You cannot get it off of your mind because it's like, what is truly happening? Like, what is really happening? And back to what you were saying about Higgins, where you didn't want to tell me the name. I said that when they said they were texting and he just stopped. Or she just stopped in cold turkey, and like his first time seeing her was then during that. Ain't nobody's make you stay on live. She was torturing herself.
I was playing catch up, baby, and we made it.
I can't. There's no way I would have been able to. I can't see. Yeah. So I'm just gonna say kudos to anybody that's able to be in that dang on courtroom. Because one, I already felt her and Higgins had already did the do. That was my personal feeling. I haven't seen the actual text messages, but just from the how deep it got to now she got to cut him off and he actually feeling the way. You ain't feeling the way about something you ain't touched. Not never. Not never.
I do think, like I said, there is probably some truth to the whole den of sin. That theory.
I know he is.
He was way too comfortable in the messages, texting John's girlfriend. And then when he went to the bar, now we've been watching it. When we get off here, guys, we're going to TikTok and we're going to start back watching our documentary. Listen, we've been watching A Body in the Snow. And
okay,
they have really good footage. They have really good footage in there. Mm-hmm. It's so much better than what we've been seeing in court. And as Aaron said, it's not admissible in court because it's been altered, but it's so much clearer. Y'all, as soon as John walked in the waterfall, who the hell does he hug first?
He went to opposite tables, but
no. When he first walked in, he said, "Hey," and hugged Brian Higgins. I said, not the same man that was texting your girlfriend, then got the audacity to text Karen. Well, I said, oh, this man is bold. As soon as he got into the waterfall, he goes and he hugs Brian Higgins. Crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Like, and that's another reason why I wanted them to explain to me that square up, square off, because like I said, in the back of my mind, I was thinking about my brother. And now I pay attention all the time. Remember, he got them on the Ring camera.
You just remember that. We'll let you. We'll do with that what you will. Put in your back pocket. Put it in your back pocket. I can't wait till she read these text messages and we call her. I can see that. I can see you cussing and cutting up in that TikTok right now. I can see it right now because, and I was just talking to my homegirl. I said, girl, I got to go break my lives down from the first trial. We watched out because they're 12 and 13 hours long. And I said, child, I got to go back and I got to go back and watch some of the testimony because I know I was cutting up during the streams because it was just like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? And when people, can I ask you something?
Just remember, John wasn't slow, Miss J. Well, my thing was, okay, this is another thing, because like I said, I've been making folks talk about it. I'm going to just say that because y'all know I always be quoting my pop-up, but I know it make me sound old. My pop-up always taught me that a man ain't never going to be first or second.
I love it.
He ain't going to never be first or second. John knew men ain't going to compete. They're not going to compete. If you look like your attention is elsewhere, if you're entertaining something else, they're not going to be first at second place. John was treating her like that in them damn text messages and gaslighting because he was doing just enough to make sure Brian didn't win. Mm-hmm. But he really didn't want the prize either. He was doing just enough so Brian Higgins didn't have shit over him. But he was making sure that he didn't end up married to her ass either. They all had ties to each other in some type of way where they would never trust each other. You could never go down the street and take somebody some cookies. What you baking cookies with that bitch for? Like, you can't do nothing. Bella's mama was asleep. She caught all kind of daggers while she was asleep. All they did was drive towards the house. That's Bella's mama. You know he's Bella's mama. I know she don't like. What was Bella's mama doing?
And why the hell they telling her about Bella's mom? Like, I don't want to hear about his ex.
They telling her about Bella's mama so Karen can get the hell on. Hell, they've been trying to get rid of her since the pandemic. If she get out the way, then John will play.
It's just too much. He was definitely gaslighting her, guys. Now, somebody asked us something in the chat. Let me see if we get to it because some of you guys didn't hear it. And Bia, if you're on here, Bia asked for us to play this. Let me find it real quick, y'all. Hold on just a second.
Whoever that is, that person's not a McCabe, correct? You, Brian Albert, Nicole Albert, and Matt McCabe, correct? And then there was a friend. You said this is a friend. You engaged in the chat that we saw. Correct?
No, y'all, I'm trying to get to it, but I don't want to skip it.
No, that's all I have.
All right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Correct.
These are all people outside of that group, among whom you engaged in the chat that we saw, correct?
Correct.
And that includes Carrie Roberts.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
She was not included in that group.
It's at the beginning of Recross. Excuse me, I couldn't get over here quick enough to mute. Sorry, thank you. Let's see if this is it.
Cruisers, correct?
Yes.
There were fire SUVs, in other words, a captain of a fire department.
Okay, here we go. We'll just listen to this.
There were fire trucks and fire engines. You know the difference?
No.
Ash making me think about every time someone was sneezing and why I said what Miss Hill to say, God bless you. God bless you. Every time it was like a little cadence of hers.
Fire engine, big one with a ladder on it.
Yes.
There was an ambulance, correct?
Yes.
And all of them had their emergency lights on.
Most likely, yes.
All of them had their motors running.
I'm not sure if they were all running. They could have been, yes.
Certainly, you would agree that there was a cacophony of diesel engines and gasoline engines and internal combustion engines that were running right outside of 34 Fairview, although no sirens, correct?
I wouldn't exactly say right outside of 34 Fairview. I'd say there were some right outside of 34 Fairview, but the first vehicle pulled up kind of right just on the right end, and most of the vehicles with the lights on were to the left. So they were.
Now, I know the jury has to believe that she's full of shit. She's going out of her way to say these people were at the next door neighbor's house when we clearly see the house in the police camera.
Actually more in front of 32 Fairview, but there were vehicles. There was Miss Roberts' vehicle, and then I believe another vehicle pulled up. I think I remember from seeing the dash cam.
And Sarah's cruiser, correct?
Yes.
And Mulaney's cruiser, just on the other side of Carrie Roberts' vehicle, correct?
Yes, I don't believe lights were on. His lights were on.
And there was an ambulance just to the left and behind Sarah's vehicle, correct?
Yes, which would have been in front of 32 Fairview.
Lights on that as well?
Yes.
All facing in the direction of 34 Fairview, correct?
Facing, but out front of 32.
So is there a reason that you're so resistant to admit that there was a cacophony of sound and noise outside of 34 Fairview?
No.
Okay, so there was, correct?
Outside on the front lawn, yes, side lawn.
And there was also some people yelling and screaming at a high pitch, right?
Yes,
Both Miss Reed, who was yelling and screaming, correct?
correct.
And Miss Roberts, who at least at some point told her to shut the fuck up, correct?
Correct.
That's my other part.
You were asked about the stop at 34 Fairview on the way to Sergeant Lang's house on redirect examination by Mr. Brennan just now, correct?
I was, yes.
He showed you a couple of pages of your transcript from that question and answer, correct?
I believe he showed me a page, yes.
And you noted that this was a question and answer from a hearing last year in this courtroom?
Yes,
And you admitted that you stopped, but actually, let me rephrase that. You were confronted with the fact that you stopped at 34 Fairview on the way to Officer Lang's house, Sergeant Lang's house, by me on cross-examination, correct?
yes, you asked me.
You also indicated that you have never refused to speak to the police, any law enforcement officer in this case, correct?
I've spoken when but asked to, yes.
But in point of fact, when you were approached by the two law enforcement agents who were not connected to Massachusetts State Police or to Canton PD, you suspended that interview and refused to answer further questions, correct?
I welcomed them in my house, sat with them, and then I stopped, and then I met with them a few times after, and I answered all their questions that they asked. I helped clear up some misconceptions that they had been told, and as you know, I know they're no longer investigating, so I think I helped them well.
And
Help them well.
your
Go ahead, T.
I think I helped them well. I think I helped them well. Let me tell you something. If you think you helped them well, if you know, like I know, when any three-letter entity shows up to your door, the investigation is over. You are the last one to know. So when them people or salesmen showed up at your door, you had enough sense to say your name was Nicole because you knew it was finna be some shit. So what ends up happening is if you think the investigation was done because you helped, oh, hell no, honey. Investigation was done when they showed up to your door. They were just putting you on notice that they watching. So you talking about, I helped them well. No, you're helping them right now because now you're lying about the shit that you told them when you started with the first lie by saying your name was Nicole. Then doubled that lie by saying, I don't want to talk to you no more. I think I need counsel. For what, ma'am? And we just talking. And then after that, you turn around and say, you only called 2 people when you called 5? Baby, they was toying with you. Much like a cane corso. You know, if a cane corso, they're not about to do nothing. Before they attack, they real quiet.
They got to come see better, T. They got to come see about her. I mean, because how bold and cocky do you have to be to sit on that stand and say that? And here's my thing. FBI, damn it, Somebody speak. I need a leaked memo or something. Are y'all done? Why does she think they're done investigating? Because how do we know they just aren't done with that part of the investigation? How does she know that? Please keep pull up, bitch. What do you say? Pull up, bitch. Pull up and get her.
She don't know they done investigating, because I'm gonna tell you why. If you dumb enough to think you can call a local joker, i.e. your brother, about some feds at your house, baby, you dumb enough to think the investigation stopped. Your brother can't do shit about them feds with his local ass. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. There is nothing that you could possibly say or do that your brother can take care of this for you.
Now,
so you think the investigation's over.
Ashley sent me this. This is from the neighbor. So the neighbor did wake up and capture this picture.
So they was up being nosy. They just ain't coming outside.
They didn't come outside, but they did exactly what Brian and Nicole did.
Didn't turn no lights on.
We need to tag the FBI. We deserve answers, because why would you stick your head in this if you're not going to tell us what you found? Key, let me tell you something. Y'all know what I need. If they wait until verdict day, then I'm going to need 2 black trucks sitting outside their courthouse. And as soon as they walk down them stairs, I'm going to need y'all to pop out with the FBI jackets on with the yellow writing on the back like in the movie. I want earpieces. I want shades. I need CNN to get somebody saying Miss McCabe is walking out now. She's coming out the south stairwell. I'm gonna need all of that.
I need everything that make her give the name Nicole. Whatever she could jump scared about.
I'm gonna need it. Listen, 20 black Suburbans, they pull up like Sunday service. I need that. I need that. I'm gonna have to go tag the FBI just like I tagged Apple. I'm gonna need the FBI to respond, because why would y'all stick your heads in this if you're not gonna do anything, or at least tell us your findings? Why can't we use your findings? What's going on?
That's because the findings are not complete. The findings are complete, but they have not solidified them. They're waiting to see exactly how much more of a hole you're gonna dig yourself into.
You think they tapped their phones?
You think they didn't? Let me tell you something. If somebody say, "Hey, you want to end the interview?" All right, cool. We'll leave. But tell me this. During them 10 minutes that you told us to wait, who'd you call? First of all, at that point, they know I'm not answering anything anymore if I've invoked my right to counsel. So at that point, when they say, who'd you call? That was to get me to bite the bait. And when you say, oh, I just called my husband and I called Carrie Roberts. And the next answer they have after you then said, hey, I need a lawyer, I'm not talking to you no more, is, you know it's a crime to lie to us. Why you're tapped? That was tapped right there. I know. I was sitting there in the car listening to you for them 10 minutes, going crazy, calling everybody. How else do I know who the fuck you called 10 minutes ago?
Hold up.
How else do I know who you called 10 minutes ago when I was sitting outside waiting to come in?
So I'm thinking they got her phone records later. You're thinking they didn't need later because they were sitting out in the ice cream truck.
They were sitting out there listening. I bet they were sitting out there listening to the tap. Okay, boom, she called her husband. Okay, that's Carrie. You know this number? Oh, okay, Peggy O'Keefe. Okay, she called. Yeah, because how the hell else would you know?
That's crazy.
Who I talked to 10 minutes ago? You only had 10 minutes to figure it out. You ain't in your office. You ain't got no equipment. You sitting down the street. And I know you only had 10 minutes because you walked up on me first.
You saying she thought they were salesmen because they really was in the 1-800-Flowers truck. She thought
They walked up.
She thought Fatty Maddie was trying to get them to sell her some flowers for the garden.
They walked up there like them LDS people in that bow tie. I mean, in that button up in them pants that be on them bikes riding around. And they walked up and they said, "Oh no, no, thank you," and they walked off. So when I said when they called you and you said, "Give me 10 minutes," they said, "All right, cool." Anybody else would have been twiddling their thumbs for 10 minutes. But when I come in there and you ice me out and say, "Nah, I'm not talking to you. I know this is over, done. Leave my house. I'll reach out to my lawyer." And now I got to back off. When somebody got one up on you, they gonna let you know it. I ain't gonna give you everything, but I'm gonna let you know a little bit. Hey, okay, cool. I'm leaving your house, but during them 10 minutes, you put all that together in 10 minutes. It's a lie.
I'm flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted because you saying that. I'm sitting here rewinding Alan Jackson speaking to her. They asked her at that house, who did she call within the 10 minutes? Now it could have been a lucky guess because it was 10. I don't know, but I'm with T now. Them people was listening in on them calls.
But the thing is, after I give you two people, even admitting that I called anybody, you say, it's a crime to lie to us. That's because I'm lying. But then for them to walk out of there, and Jen, obviously, all that damn bronzer then got to her brain. She's not sitting up there doing anything. And then Jen not thinking straight, but her husband heard that shit clear. Call this motherfucker right here and tell him you lied. You lied. Call him and beg for forgiveness, mother. You tell him you lied.
No, Fatty Maddie said, "We're not doing this. We can't play with the feds. This is not Ken."
Because you didn't call back and say, "Hey, I remembered I called somebody else." She said, they said right there on the stand, she called back and said, "My husband said I lied, so I better tell the truth." You didn't say, "I just remembered. Oh, it slipped my mind." Your husband let you know that this was bigger than your brother and he can't stop everything. Your brother is a local joker. I don't care how big he portrayed to be. This is some national, this is some federal shit. Brian Albert don't mean shit with these 3 letters.
Erica said the feds concluded their investigation and gave the defense their notes. My issue with this, Erica, is what and I do know they helped a lot, but why the hell y'all step in if y'all weren't gonna do nothing? And where's the smoking guns at? Like, I want to, if you tap their phones, baby, can we play some wiretaps? I'd had to sit through YSL and hear people selling dime bags at the damn gas station. I hear what they were talking about on those calls.
Listen, I ain't gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you, but everybody know I don't be putting this name out there, but everybody know I always tell my stories about when I used to work over a decade ago. Used to work in a halfway house. I told you my uncle was part of one of the many RICOs that I've seen in my life, which is what got me interested a long time ago in RICOs. The RICO before my uncle was a RICO with my older cousins and uncles. They did 20, 30 years. They're just now coming home. There was a RICO after that when the next generation went. I think there's even been another RICO in the last 5 or 6 years. So I watched them all happen. When my uncle went, they popped up on him. They said everything they was going to say to him. They told him what they had on him, told him what they didn't have on him, told them everything they knew about him. We know you don't deal with the younger ones. We know you older. We know you don't even live in that neighborhood. We know you in the house for the street lights come on because Robin don't play that. Like, told him his woman's name. But do you know my uncle did not have to turn himself in for another 1.5 years? They just played with him. But during that 1.5 years, they was still listening. So when it came time for sentencing and stuff like that for people to turn themselves in, they like, yeah, it's a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 20. We were originally going to go with 5, but we since learned that he's still... And that's where they were coming after these people for 20 or mandatory minimums and stuff like that. I guarantee that whatever Jen and Carrie talked about the morning of her testimony is on a tap. I guarantee whatever she said about Turtle Boy is on a tap. I guarantee that when they go in and say, "Oh, we was investigating this," whatever you thought ended back in 2023, you, Proctor, and all of them is on some shit from 2024. It's the Mo from 2025. by the time they tap you on your shoulder and say, hey,
it's over.
we need to talk to you, they just putting you on notice. They already done.
That girl said, how you call to get protection for somebody that can jump immediately? Useless ass type.
Immediately.
Yeah. Oh God, yes, y'all. This week, I mean, there's been so much going on, but it's all been Jennifer McCabe. It has all been her, and the jury at this point has to. What do you think the jury's thinking, T? Because she is. Let's just paint the picture. When they told the story, this is John's friend who just woke up to go find him with Karen. It should really end. It should really be over with for her, right? We shouldn't have taken 3 days to talk to this woman. But she's been on the stand 3 days. 3 days.
I don't feel like we took 3 days. I feel like she took 3 days. She want to argue about shit that we already solidified Wednesday. Why are we going back? Well, I don't know if I sent the text at that time. I don't know if I looked at the car every time. They already stipulated text.
Do you have a report? Can I see the report?
My thing is, how is it 1 minute that the report don't do nothing for you, so no, you don't need to see it, and then when somebody start crossing your ass up, you crisscross applesauce, then you want to say, oh, well, can I see the report? Did the report help or not? Do it help or not? But 1 minute you want to discredit it, the next minute you need it to help you. I thought it don't help your dang on memory. Because your memory don't remember nothing but you leaving John O'Keefe and going straight to Officer Lane's house.
Do you believe for a second she didn't go talk to Link when she went in the house? Oh, wait a minute. We got to address this. I wish I could go in here and really find it. That acting done by 227. Let me tell you something. 227 had Alan pissed. Alan said, you do know what 220, the significance of it, right? I don't, maybe, it was it. He like,
when that said I didn't do any search, she ended that back and forth with I didn't do any search. Now, ma'am, go on, sit up here and tell these people you ain't search at all and bust this all up. Because all he's saying is, did you Google anything at 227? Because what we really know about this is Carrie ain't corroborating your ass no more. She didn't fucked up. She fucked up. So Carrie said she never heard it. You said y'all never discussed it. So if she ain't heard it and you ain't tell her, then it didn't happen. So let's go to the dash cam. 623, 624. Nobody heard it. Nobody seen it. Oh, well, she sent Carrie away.
She sent Carrie away, sent me. Like this.
So if you sent Carrie away and you didn't tell Carrie, how it end up in Carrie's grand jury? It ain't happened.
This lady was drunk as hell. How did she come to mind and was so calculated? She said, Carrie, you go away. Jen, let me talk to you. That lady was drunk out of her mind.
How somebody send you away from a prayer? They were just praying.
She was just praying. Y'all was just holding hands. Y'all was just holding hands. How the hell she send you away? Come on now.
Prayer. Somebody sent you out to prayer. And so, but that further means she didn't hear it. But if you didn't tell her, then how would she put that in the grand jury? So that still goes to you coached her to say this at some point because she didn't hear it and you didn't tell her. Which means it's not on audio. They didn't catch it on video. It's not on the dash cam. You are, so all we got is either your word, or that shit ain't happening. You was Googling at 227.
She said she rebuked her.
In the
Holy Spirit don't even mess with her.
Listen, they said her prayer ain't hit the roof. Ain't hit the roof of the car. Yeah, I wouldn't want her around me neither.
Let me see that. I don't know if we can get quickly.
Yeah, and she walking around with a creased napkin on. She don't pray over food good either. I wouldn't want Carrie in my prayer either.
Oh, well, we can't see 227, guys, because I am at least at that spot. We can definitely see 227. Now, she was just really struggling, y'all. This
Thank you.
I didn't know she would have done it. And did you all notice Hank Brennan didn't bring this up at all on his recross? Redirect.
May I approach?
Yes.
You indicated you wanted to see a record, Ms. McCabe. Did you see a record that indicated a Google search? Not what the contents of the Google search is, but there was a Google search.
I just saw a Celebrate record, yes.
And did you see the time of the Google search?
On that record, yes.
Is it 2:27, correct?
Yes.
Ultimately, you will agree that there was a Google search done, and now I'm going to ask about the content of Hoslong to Die in Cold, correct?
That was done in the morning at the request of Miss Reed.
Ms. McCabe, I didn't ask you that. I asked you a yes or no question. Did you understand my question?
Could you repeat it, please?
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
Did that record indicate that there was a search at some point done, at some point, for Hoslong to Die in Cold?
I object to recovering the record. I'll look.
Yeah.
So was there a search on that at some point?
On that paper, was there a search that said that?
On that paper.
Is that the question?
Let's start with that.
Yes. Yeah, there was.
Okay, now let me ask you a different question. You Google searched the phrase Hoslong to Die in Cold. Yes or no?
Yes.
On January 29th, correct?
Yes.
So you agree that you were on Google, correct?
Yes.
You agree that there was a search done at 2:27 a.m., correct?
I don't recall doing a search at 2:27. The paper says
There
it.
it goes,
I
T.
don't.
Okay. And you also agree that at some point that morning, you plugged into that phone, Hoslong to Die in Cold. Is that right?
Yes. After we found John O'Keefe.
Now, you claim that that was at 23 and at 6:24 in the morning, two iterations of How Long to Die in the Cold. Hoslong to Die in Cold, How Long T.I. Die in CIKD, correct?
I'm not claiming it. It's the truth. Is what happened.
You're testifying to that.
Yes, I am.
You also testified that at the time you Google searched those phrases, it was Karen Reed screaming and yelling at you, shaking you to Google hypothermia, correct?
She was pulling on my sleeve.
Is that
Yes.
yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, here you go, T.
You have discussed this Google search and the issue of the hypothermia with Carrie Roberts, correct?
I told her in the days following.
You discussed it? Or no?
Yes.
You discussed it in the days following January 29th, correct?
Yes.
You discussed it before her testimony at the grand jury, correct?
We discussed it after. We don't talk about what we're going to say before
Oh.
testifying or anything like
in
that.
the 3 months between this incident and the testimony by both you and Ms. Roberts, you two did not discuss this hypothermia issue?
It wasn't an issue. It was just something she said, but we don't discuss it every day. There's no need to.
I didn't ask you to discuss it every day. I asked you if you ever discussed it.
Originally, yes, we did discuss it in the first days following all of
And
this.
that would have been before either one of you testified at the grand jury, correct?
Yes.
And we know that you were with her during her, just before her testimony at the grand jury. Is that right?
Yes.
And you're certainly aware that at the grand jury, that in prior testimony, Carrie Roberts corroborated your statement that Karen Reed demanded to Google hypothermia. Okay.
Ask it differently, Mr. Jackson.
Are you aware that Carrie Roberts, well, let me ask it a different way. Have you and Carrie Roberts ever discussed the fact that she corroborated your statement that Karen Reed demanded that you Google hypothermia?
No.
She ever told you that?
No.
Did you ever ask her that?
No.
Did you two discuss your statement that Karen Reed was the one that demanded that search?
Karen Reed did ask me to do the search, yes.
Okay, that's not what I asked you. Did you and Carrie Roberts discuss that?
Yes, we've talked about that.
Are you aware
Can you tell us?
last week Carrie Roberts denied hearing that statement?
Objection.
Sustained.
Have you been told, have you been updated that last week Carrie Roberts denied ever having heard that statement?
Objection.
Sustained.
She wasn't even prepared to answer.
Yes.
I see that. She wasn't even prepared
Joyce, feel
to
free to
answer.
stand up and stretch.
She wasn't
Got
even
her ass back. Got her ass back. The same way Carrie was looking goofy when she found out there was a group chat without her. What? What you mean she fucked up? What you mean she fucked up on the stand? I talked to her that morning. I told her good luck. And you mean to tell me she got up there and effed up?
She did. She did. I mean, Jen had a few slip ups, but first of all, if anyone believes for a fact that Jen doesn't know Carrie said that, you're crazy. She knows Karen said that on the stand. She's pissed about it. How am I going to fix that? But she knows Carrie got up there and said, I didn't. Carrie trying to save her own ass at this point. She's probably starting to realize that Jen been playing her this whole time. She's probably starting to realize that this is where we are now. But you can't sit here and even with the group chat. Now I buy Carrie being shocked the first trial. The first trial, I know she was shocked because they put that on her during that first trial. This trial, she knew about that group chat.
She knew about the whole back and forth. Well, why is she sitting there looking like it's not a possibility that one could exist without her?
Well, I let me say this. I think hearing it again from AJ will always hit different because again, he's putting it to you. And I want you to know this too. Carrie Roberts was not crossed the last time. So she knew about the group chat because they asked it with Matt on the stand. I think they may have asked Nicole and Brian. They may have spoken about the group chat, definitely asked Jen. So she knew about the group chat. She was never on the stand and asked about that group chat. Did you know there was a group chat without you? So, you see they got this family chat, but look how it's worded now. Without you. Can feel a little different. So she did know. She knew they had it because she watched that trial. They all watched the trial.
I mean, damn, Carrie, she wasn't crossed.
No, and so many people, and I think that's one of the great things about a retrial the state just has no dog in the fight, honestly. But for the defense, they get to regroup, they get to see what people are saying online. So many people said it was a mistake for them not to cross Carrie. They did not cross her because I think
all the stuff that she said, you're not gonna go in and clarify that.
Well, I'm going to say this too. Her testimony last time was just kind of like, oh, I called her crazy. It was on one hand, I can see why. Sorry, y'all. On one hand, I can see why they didn't cross her. Barchi just does the most. I can see why they didn't cross her, but after having Jen on that stand, it was like you got to put Carrie back on the stand and you have to cross her, and that's exactly what they did. And we saw how great it was for them to cross her. She folded quick. Oh, I lied. My bad.
Listen, I don't understand why they wouldn't have crossed her before, because the truth of the matter is you claim this is a dear friend. You stepped in to help him raise these kids. You stepped in because there's no mother figure. You stepped in to take this kid every Friday and give up your listen. You step in to take this kid to give this man a break every Friday. Like your Fridays you don't need a break. I'm just very curious how you would be so indifferent as to she must be crazy versus let's find my friend. What do you mean he didn't come home?
No. Let me clarify that too. Because watching back, she was saying this girl is batshit crazy. She did not see John's body. And in that moment, Carrie was thinking that there's no way he's dead and alone. That's what she meant by she's batshit crazy. I went back and watched Jen's testimony again, Carrie's again. She wasn't just saying, oh my gosh, she crazy for all of the screaming. When you add context with it, she didn't see John's body. So she was not thinking that Carrie was, let me out the car. It's a dead body right there. You know, that's, and I mean, the rest of it, she was definitely not as helpful as I think, but I think going towards it, I don't think she ever thought he could have been dead. So when she was saying that with context, I was like, oh, okay. She didn't see the body. When they stopped the car, she really didn't see the body there. So
Did she crease her sleeves last time?
I don't even know what she wore last time, but a similar looking shirt.
I about to say, if she creased the top of them sleeves again, I would have been suspicious. I don't care. Anybody in a blizzard that starts cleaning off their car as if it ain't gonna keep snowing, suspicious. What you cleaned off a car in a blizzard for? Sit your ass down somewhere. I got questions. What were you doing? Did they know that she had picked up John's phone? I just don't understand how she did all that she did and nobody had a question for her.
She picked up the phone. She's the one who walked it. And I agree with
like what you taking the phone to unless it got your nudes in it? Like what are you doing with the phone?
Let me see. Someone put it up here. I think that I just had up here. Last time, yes, I do agree. Last time Carrie's testimony wasn't great, but it wasn't like let's do all of this. But I think they since learned more about Carrie and said, no, we better ask her some questions. Probably went through her previous testimony. They probably thought Carrie was only involved in that little piece, and we really don't need to put her up there, but they've since learned strategy, went back through all of her testimony and said, no, we need to cross her. And it proved to be really good for them. It worked out.
I don't see myself not crossing her. I think Carrie is Chloe.
She said, I think Carrie's Chloe. You got to go back and watch her first testimony. It's quick too. It's probably
because I feel like Carrie is Chloe. I feel like that's what they did to Carrie. They got rid of the dog and got a new one. They tell her when to sit, when to be nice, when to attack, when to bark, and that's what she was doing.
Now, Key, this is what I don't understand. How do you just meet this woman and you're at her house doing interviews? Why, like that wasn't suspicious to you that this woman wants you at her house? You have your own house, your own husband. You at this lady house doing interviews while her family having damn dinner. Like that didn't seem odd to you. They're having dinner and you're at her house doing an interview. She wasn't up there long at all.
Doing an interview, they probably didn't even have a plate set for your ass. You just sitting up there, just happy to be part of your JV junior prom ass.
They said she was finally in the in crown. I think I kind
listen to pretty. They didn't offer her no plate. She probably went in there. That's okay. Y'all didn't know I was coming.
Did she even offer you a plate? That's crazy, pretty.
That goes both ways because you know what? Bitter bitches hate alike, and the way she desperate for friends, so is Peggy.
Oh God, let's not talk about Peggy. I'm trying to give her.
That's why her and Carrie can get along so well. That's why they can latch on to each other.
Have you paid attention to Jen's personality? I don't know if I tell that heifer no. I tell her no in a heartbeat. I don't know. Maybe it depends on your personality type, but like I mean I have friends. I like to believe I have a strong personality, but it's not like overbearing. I've never been like, I don't know the right word to use right here without sounding crazy, but I don't need to do an interview at your house if I have my own. I don't need you to hold my hand through anything. Like I'm good. It's especially I don't understand why. I don't know why Carrie was only involved in this from, let's say, 4:55-ish to 6. That's it. An hour and a half. Why does she need you at her home for an hour and a half? Why does she need you in her home for an hour and a half? Like, I just don't. I mean, it's an hour and a half. What does she need to listen to you say? Make sure you don't say.
Let me tell you something. I think Judge Mathis said it best. I know a crackhead when I see a crackhead. Your eyes buck like that. You can't blink. You're sweating and shit. Your bronze all over the place. Listen. I think they all be messing with powdered donuts without the donut. I just don't think. I think first of all, we seen her mimic play fighting. She ain't gonna make her way out of a wet paper bag. I'm not scared of her. They
are all drunks.
They drunk as hell. They stay drunk and keep getting drunk.
Carrie's a grown woman, and it kills me. Like, where is your husband? Why is your husband talking some sense into you? And you can't have sisters? Because my sisters would have clocked her immediately. You can't have sisters.
Well, you can't always do nothing about that, because sometimes they just want the friend more than they want a sister. You just keep them from around you.
I really hate it.
Clocked this. Once her eyes didn't blink good, he would have clocked it. I ain't never seen nobody hold their eyes open that long besides a deer. I have never in my life, and my eyes big. Mine don't even open like that. They are, and that's what it is. It ain't that they scared of Jen. They scared of what's behind Jen. That's what it is. But if it's the truth that Big Brian Albert that sold that house ain't even get asking price and is living in a cabin, yeah, kiss my ass. I ain't scared of none of y'all. Yeah, they said he living in a cabin, child. He ain't in Boston. He ain't in Canton.
No, he moved.
They said he moved and he in a cabin.
That's crazy. And her sister, baby Didi is pissed. I know Didi may have her blocked.
Let me tell you, if I come to court to support you,
and you pour me out,
and I walk out, sir. First of all, bitch, don't point at me. Point at your mama. Don't point at me. Why you gotta give her my name?
She said, she's over there with the striped shirt on in between the. I said, I know she like, God damn.
And what kind? And Didi ain't no dang. What kind of sister is you? You up there? What's her name? Didi? What's her last name? I already been on the floor, prostrate before the Lord. Y'all gonna have to find me. I'm shimmying the floor. What you want to know all my business for? I ain't understand.
I was surprised she was up there after lunch. I said, "Oh, she stayed." I said, "Oh, Didi stayed." Okay.
Listen, I'd have been halfway out of Massachusetts by the time she got there. I'd have been gone. We ain't sisters no more. Because if I get served, the second I get served, oh, you got to see me. You got to see me. It's gonna be some rocking and rolling. It's gonna be some motherfucking furniture moving. Because if I get served, oh no. Oh,
we'll get ready.
The World Wide Web, my first name, last name, what I got on, and pointed at me.
Well, let me say this, and I want you guys to correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. I don't remember everything. I do not recall hearing their sister scribed this timeline. We knew about the timeline. We knew Peg asked them. I think Carrie brought that out this trial. And then Jen had to bring it out because Carrie had brought it out already, right? So I think now we got to call Didi, because Didi, who called you? How did you end up being described?
You end up in this mess, but at this point, will nobody get no sleep? I'm knocking on everybody's door.
Not the first time. Okay. They're too pretty said it's not the first time, and we just watched it. So I don't remember it. So y'all know we got to go find it now. We'll go find it and we'll listen. But I don't remember Carrie saying something about a scribe. But now Didi might be.
Carrie said that somebody did it.
Saying it is now Didi might be on the defense's witness list, because baby, I want you to tell me all about you scribing these notes. Who was doing the talking? Was it mostly your sister, or was it Carrie?
How was this going? Were they comparing Were they fixing each other's story? What was happening? And what was Peggy ass back there doing? Was she telling them? Did she tell them to add this? What all did you write down? Matter of fact, you've been sitting in the
where is it? What
timeline? But not only that, you've been sitting in the courtroom. Now, what the fuck Carrie done said that's on the timeline or ain't? And what has Jen said that is or ain't on the timeline? Who lied? And don't lie, because it's a crime to lie to us. I send them people to your house. Don't play with it.
They were giving the timeline. Y'all, we done hit 2 hours. I didn't know how long we've hit 2 hours on here.
We hit 2 hours. I know we did. I just heard them kids running.
We just hit 2 hours on here, guys. And I'm gonna go because I need to transition. I'm gonna watch the rest of A Body in the Snow. So we're gonna watch that. Is it raining? We don't have a set time on here, y'all. But I do want to watch A Body. We do love y'all. Plus, me and my friend, we get to talking about something we love, and we just don't keep talking. That's that. You know, when you having fun, time flies by. I just looked up and said, "Oh, damn, we've been on for 2 hours."
Mel knew I was gonna get on this and get to run in my mouth because I was gonna get pissed. She knew I was gonna get pissed.
I will admit that I'm just happy. I'm happy to have you to talk to this about. So I know if I'm messed up on something, I can just FaceTime now and be like, because we're on the same case. I love when we're watching the same thing. I love when we're watching the same thing. I absolutely love that. You know, it's like having, like, your friend gonna say, "Hey, Q," you know he gonna see it. I love it.
He said, "Hey."
I love it. She said, "We don't mind."
The new spot on camera, you know, they got in the school.
Yes, we gonna be on here then.
She gonna go back there, fuck on it. You know what I'm saying? Leave it in. I'll put the other
Me too.
It ain't got enough strength to push it.
Me too. I heard she. I know she talking. I meet you.
We love when y'all run your mouth. Listen. I know somebody wrote me the other day said you and Mel ain't had no meet and greet. I said, y'all want to meet us?
Yeah, we said this summer though.
We did.
Say we were gonna do something this summer. We did say we were gonna do something.
Well, I want to say we probably can though because the other date been moved around. So
and
you said, "Hey,
Oh yeah. And if you do Jeezy, we could do it around that same time.
Listen, I'm working on Jeezy. Listen, Big Unc said
Sunday.
Big Unc said he ain't going to see Jeezy in no black tie. He coming dope boy fresh.
He got to put some on. If you do Jeezy, if you decide to do Jeezy and stuff, we could do that Sunday, and that would be great.
It would probably be Atlanta. But Lord have mercy, y'all gonna have to give me a bag wig and some slingbacks because if Miss Love catch me.
You know, I was thinking about going to court on Monday. Then I said, I think I'm gonna just wait and just hear about it. I'm gonna wait and hear about it. I don't want to go. It's cool. Miss Sylvia will probably be there. I'll get the updates from Miss Sylvia.
No, she's not. She said she's going to New York
for the Diddy trial.
Uh-huh.
Oh, damn.
I think she said she was leaving this weekend. I swear I saw a post or something. Maybe I got it wrong.
Dang, I was gonna go, but I said nah. I'm gonna just wait.
Monday is the now how we gonna do Tuesday? Because Big Bang Bev said we doing Monday through Friday, all week, all day, every day. But aside from Duke fighting for his bins and ends on Monday, Melly going for bond Tuesday.
On Tuesday. Oh shit.
I know. See,
I'm gonna say this. This is what Melanie will do. Because we committed to the Karen. We can do our Karen and right after, because you know Bev in early 3:45 anyway. Right after we can rewatch the Melly hearing.
We have to watch the Melly hearing and see what's going on with it.
I have to.
And I did see that I gotta go look because Mama Adelson has some new stuff come out. She had another piece of evidence come out. I gotta go check on the old lady. She goes next month, June. Okay. Oh Lord, got us. Let me know where you watching the Body in the Snow, and I'll watch it with y'all. I'll pop one there.
Come to TikTok. I'll pull you up. Let's watch it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for our second wind down Friday. We appreciate all the super chats, memberships, lives, liking the lives, everything. Thank y'all for coming to see me and my home girl. But we finna go to TikTok and we're gonna watch the Body in the Snow. Now, T, you know we on episode 3.
Okay. I think I didn't watch most of it, but okay.
All right. See y'all later. Bye-bye, y'all.